Welcome back, friends. Now we are going to start our next lecture on personality development. As we had discussed in the previous lectures that personality is an essential part of your existence. Its grooming and its development is quite important. So we are going to study personality development and unlocking your true potential. I am Dr. Richa Shukla from the School of Languages, CSJM University, Kanpur. What is personality development? Till now we have studied in the previous lectures what is personality. Personality is something that is the overall sum total of or whatever qualities you have, whatever you have acquired in your life through the influence of the circumstances, through the influence of your genetics and your own personal efforts. So what is the development? It is personality, which is the unique pattern of thoughts, feelings and behaviors that define who you are as an individual. Now its development. So what is the development? Development is a continuous process of growth and positive change that shapes your personality and your character and enhances your abilities. Then comes the journey. The journey is towards your development, towards the achievement of your success, towards the achievement of goals. When it comes to personality development, the journey is quite important because this journey includes how you want to groom yourself, how you assess your personality as we studied in the previous classes, how we are going to assess our personality and how we are going to groom it from introvert to extrovert and extrovert to somewhat ambivert. Now, enhancing your traits to improve confidence is known as the journey of the development of your personality. The building blocks of personality. As we know, personality's building blocks are your self-confidence, they are your traits, they are your genetics, they are your influences. So what shapes us? Obviously, our personality is influenced by a fascinating interplay of heredity, that is our genetic structure, genetic makeup, environment, under what influences we live, under what circumstances we are groomed, and situational factors we encounter daily. From birth to adulthood, we keep changing, we keep developing, we keep learning. Learning is the thing that makes you human. The most human thing that is possible in our life is learning and keep grooming and developing in our life. So, from birth to adulthood, the temperament experiences from birth shape our personality, and over time through 8 psychological stages, from trust versus mistrust in infancy to identity roles, the adolescence is developed and our personality is groomed. But it does not mean that it ends here. We can groom our personality in whatever age we are, whatever field we want to, depending what personality assessment results we get. If we are introvert, we can't become completely extrovert in one day, but yes, we can groom it to become a bit ambivert and a bit more sociable, more compatible to your job dreams. Let's move forward. Further, you see major theories. Since we are studying the theoretical part of this personality grooming and personality assessment, personality development, we should be aware of the major theories in explaining personality. Trait approach. There are 4 major theories that are dealt with in personality development studies. First is trait approach, the big 5 traits that we studied in the first lecture, in the second lecture also, I guess. So, there openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness and neuroticism form the foundation of personality assessment. As you know, these big 5 traits are known as openness, means your extrovert nature. Conscientiousness is the honesty towards your work, how much honestly you do the thing that is given to you, how you adjust in your circumstances, how you cope with your situations. Then comes extroversion. Extroversion is how much sociable you are, how much comfortable you are under many circumstances that are given under stress in the society, in your job fields, in your job approaches. Then comes agreeableness. Agreeableness is something that is very important to work in teams. If you have to work in team, you should know how to cope with others, how to be agreeable enough to bring your team together and fulfill the task and achieve your goals. Then neuroticism. Neuroticism is basically a bit different from your agreeableness. Neuroticism is genetic, your traits, which things stress you, which things trigger you, which things are not as per your liking, and how you react and respond to them. Even this neuroticism is controllable, groomable, and a bit changeable. These things are the basic foundation, and if you know them, if you know about yourself, if you have taken as an assessment of your personality, you will be able to work better to achieve your goal. Next is humanistic approach. This approach focuses on personal growth and self-actualization through the work of Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow. As you see, Abraham Maslow and Rogers said that if we pay attention to our personal growth, we have to pay attention to our personal shortcomings. If we do not have the consciousness of our personal shortcomings, we won't be able to actualize our dream for self-development and for the goals that we have set for our life. So, in order to have that self-actualization, we should have a basic self-concept. If you have a basic self-concept, if you have a right assessment of your character, you will be able to achieve the goal that you have set for yourself. Next we move forward, that is social learning. Obviously, we are social beings, we live in society, and as I said, we have three types of personalities that are extrovert, introvert, and ambivert. Ambivert people are the ones who have the perfect combination of extrovert and introvert qualities, but it does not mean that only ambivert people are perfect for all the jobs in the world. We need all the types of people, and the most dynamic being are human beings. Obviously, we can learn, but since we are social beings, we are supposed to learn from our society, and we are supposed to be giving something to our society as well by our own grooming. If every person is well groomed, if every person in the society is well developed, the society itself uplifts and upgrades. So, social learning. Personality is shaped by observing and imitating others in our social environment. In our society, it is not like we can groom ourselves solely, independently, without learning from others. We have to learn from others, we have to see what qualities we are missing or which ones we can work on, and in this way we groom ourselves continuously throughout our lives. Then the fourth theory is cognitive approach. Cognitive approach is something how our thoughts, beliefs, and mental processes influence our behavior and personality. How we think of ourselves, what self-concept we have. We should always be quite realistic in having our self-concept. If we are not realistic in making our self-concept, we won't be able to realize our goals. If we think or somebody thinks that he is very intelligent, he should have a realistic rationale of his intellect and his understanding, how much intellectual he is, how much intelligent is he performing well in the tasks given for intellectual people, in the tasks given for intelligent people. If he is failing in all the tasks, will he be called as an intelligent person? If not, then whether his self-concept is right or not, he will have to work on that. So, thus we saw there are four major theories explaining personality. Now, we move on. Here, as I said, self-concept is quite important. So, we see here a comparison by the help of this image, the self versus actual or ideal. So, we can explain it with the help of this image, that is actual self, ideal self, and the self concept. That is the most balanced way to actualize your self concept. If you do not have this balance, if you are not able to understand what is ideal self, how much actual self is related to the ideal self, and how much ideal self is going to cope with your actual self, you won't have a right understanding of your self concept. So, the relationship between who you are and who you aspire to be shapes your psychological well-being. Then we move forward. Actual self is who you are, shaped by self-knowledge and social feedback from the world around you. Ideal self is who you aspire to be, how you are going to influence by your role models, how you are going to present yourself in the society, how you suppose yourself to be recognized by others. That is your ideal self. And you have to find a balance. As we have written here, alignment between the actual and the ideal is the most important thing. If you don't align these two things, you will lose balance and you won't be able to achieve the goals that you have set for your personality, for your development. Let's move on. Types of personality styles. Obviously, there are three types that we have studied, like introverts, extroverts and ambiverts, but when it comes to deciding personality styles, there are 3-4 types of people, like perfectionists. You might have seen many people who are perfectionists, who do not stop until they reach their ideal goal or until they find themselves in the ideal circumstances to fulfill their goals. So, these are principled individuals who value integrity and strive for excellence in everything they do. They are a perfectionist everywhere. Then come achievers. Achievers are goal oriented. These people fix a goal, work for it and finally achieve it, and do whatever is required in the positive way to achieve that goal. Such perfectionists and achievers are the ones who reach the top level, who become the leaders, who become the bosses, who become the higher authorities in various companies, and these qualities are expected from those ones who want to lead. Then comes helpers, empathetic souls. They are the ones who find fulfillment in supporting and caring. If someone has this type of personality, that person is supposed to go in the fields where he may more socialize, where he may help people, where he may provide some kind of comfort to others, like he may become a doctor or something, whichever field they choose from. But you have to know what type of a personality style you have. Some people are adventurous. They are energetic spirits who thrive on excitement and new experiences. Understanding your style will help you tailor personal development strategies. If you understand what type of personality you are, what style of personality you carry, you will be able to understand yourself well and perform better in the fields in which we work. Let us move forward. Well, there are practical tips how you can enhance your personality. Assessment we have already studied. As for assessment, you may go to a psychoanalyst or you may take online assessment things like questionnaires or other things where you go to assess your personality and find the right path to follow. But there are some practical tips that everyone should follow, all the people who want to groom their personality. That is, master social graces. Social graces are the social behaviors where you greet people, where you meet people, where you understand how people are supposed to be behaved with. So, you greet others warmly, with genuine interest and maintain good manners in all interactions. First impressions matter, do remember this always. But it does not mean that first impression is the last impression always. Still, the fact remains that first impression is always something that will guide the person whom you meet. Next comes cultivate positivity. Obviously, everybody has to be positive, then only you can grow. Growth is the symbol for positivity. You have to avoid negative comparisons and gossip. Focus on constructive thoughts that uplift you and the others. If you don't focus on the positive aspects, you may fall into depression, you may fall into negative comparisons, you may fall into inferiority complexes. As you know, inferiority complex will always push you back, pull your leg everywhere you want to further move. It is not a positive thing. So, you have to always follow a positive attitude towards the things. You have always to find a solution. Never never get pushed back by all the situations which are negative. Always try to find a positive side and always maintain this positivity in others also. Then we come to the next thing, that is develop effective communication. You have to develop effective communication by listening actively. Active listening is something that gives you a good impression in the eyes of the listener. It gives you a good understanding of the person you are listening to, and if you do not interrupt and listen carefully, you get a chance to speak also. And when you speak in an informed way. An informed speaker is the one whom everybody wants to listen to. So, he has confidence and he is empathetic to others because he has listened well, and this positive and active listening is very important for the development of your personality in the society. Then you have to express your unique style. Obviously, as we know, personality is unique, our personal traits are unique, our grooming will be unique. In that way, we will have a unique style to express. You do not need to copy others, you do not need to be a replica of someone. Even if you idolize somebody, never copy that person. If you copy the person, you will never become original. You will always be taken as a first copy, second copy or the third copy or whatever copy you are able to make yourself. So, never copy others, you have to carry your own unique style, and you will definitely do well if you follow these grooming tips. Okay? Let us move forward. So, there are various techniques also for personality growth. As you can see, there are 4 techniques that I have enlisted here. Number 1 is set clear goals. You have to set clear goals, how much you want to achieve, where you want to go, up to what level you want to work for your success. Establish achievable objectives. Setting goals does not mean that you set a goal that today only you have to become the president. Your goal should be the practical one, where you move one step at a time and you have to keep working for that step, and you have to keep moving in the forward situation, you have to keep moving forward to get that goal, and always keep improving. It is not like that you have got one goal, so you will stop. You have to keep working for your goals and keep setting new goals once one goal is achieved. And next is continuous learning. Continuous learning is really important. Being human beings, we are not supposed to stop learning. The day we stop learning, we stop growing, we stop living, we stop being a part of this universe, because in this universe everything is moving, time is not going to stop for you or for anybody. So, you are supposed to be always moving, learning, and always working for continuous learning. You have to acquire new skills, you have to improve existing ones, and through deliberate practice you have to keep grooming yourself throughout your life if you want to reach the top and stay on the top. Okay? Then embrace failures. You set goals, you achieve your goals, you keep working for the goals, does not mean that you will not face failures. Failure is a part of our personality, failure is a part of the truth in the society. No one is there who is at the top who can say that he has never seen a failure. Failure is a part of the gift that you get when you succeed. So, failure is something that is just a step towards achievement. So, never be taken aback by the failures, never be pushed back by the failures, rather embrace them, learn from your failures, find out where you failed, why you failed, and try to work on that side. So, these setbacks should be taken as the valuable learning steps, and you have to take these opportunities to improve yourself. Next comes self-reflection. Reflection in the sense of thought. How you think about yourself, what concept you have of yourself, and how you are going to groom yourself. You have to practically introspect about it. If this practical regular introspection and actively seeking constructive feedback will keep you moving towards improvement, and continuous improvement is the thing that results into a great success, results into a good personality, a personality that is looked up by others, looked up at by others. Now, why personality development matters? Obviously, we have studied personality is important, personality is unique, personality has got many things that gets you towards your success. It builds confidence, it boosts your self-esteem, and it gives you belief in your abilities. If you do not improve your personality, if you do not groom yourself, you will lose your self-confidence as well. And self-confidence is the thing that makes you the most important person for yourself. If you have a self-confidence and the right self-concept, then only you can move forward with confidence. Then improves relationships. If you have a good personality, if you are working towards personality development, you will have good relationships also. It fosters social acceptance and deeper and more meaningful connections. If your social interactions are positive, if you ooze the good confidence and good personality, people will get attracted towards you, they will try to work with you, they will become a good team member for you, they will try to follow whatever you say. So, your personality and impression does matter in society. Then it enhances career prospects. In the beginning, we have learnt that personality is quite important and it gives an opportunity to the person to enhance his career. If you have worked on your personality, if you have good communication skills, if you can talk confidently on any topic, if you read well, if you groom yourself well, you enhance your career prospects. Your career is not just for you. You may provide career to others also by grooming yourself, by getting to the top, by getting a new company, by opening new pathways for new jobs. You may become an inspiration for others by grooming your personality. Obviously, you can understand that the personality plays very important role in this. So, personality development becomes an essential part of your grooming and development. It supports mental health. Obviously, when we do not have self-confidence, we do not have a good self-concept, we think that we have got nothing to do, we have got nothing good, we have got nothing positive about ourselves, obviously we will get depressed, we will get blue. So, we need to work on our personality, we need to groom ourselves, we need to uplift our self-confidence to achieve a good mental health, which also includes keeping a good physical health as well. So, have knowledge about your physical health, keep working on your physical health also, then only you will have a good mental health. So, it aligns self-image with aspirations and values, promoting overall well-being. Let us move on. Then your journey starts now. We have studied personality, we have studied what are the components of the personality, we have studied what are the determinants of a good personality, we have studied how to develop your personality. Now, we see that your journey is going to start from here. I hope you will learn from these lectures well, you will work on your personality and you all will prove yourself as very confident individuals in the society. So, your personality is your life's organizing principle. So, make it the best version of yourself. That's the thing that you learn from personality development. It is a lifelong journey. You have to pay attention to your small steps always because they matter the most. If you keep moving, if you keep grooming, if you keep improving, every small improvement adds to your personality. And you have to embrace your uniqueness. Do not forget every person is unique and that uniqueness is going to get you the best version of yourself. Let us move on. Thank you so much. I hope you must have learnt a lot about personality from this lecture. So, see you in the next lecture. Something about grooming we shall be talking and we shall know something more about personality.